Many of you are not old enough to remember a very popular toy back in the 60s and 70s. It was called Bozo the Clown Bop Bag. And it was basically this big inflatable Bozo the Clown about 4 feet tall. And it had weighted like sand at the bottom of the bag. So you'd punch it, it would fall over. But then because of the weight on the bottom of the bag, it would bounce back up. And God's been showing me that as a great analogy because we are the bop bag much of the time, living in this broken world. People hurt us. Satan comes along with schemes to get people to hurt us. We experience heartbreak, whether it's financial, relational, physical, health-wise, whatever. And all of a sudden we're like, boom, slammed to the ground. Have you felt like that? I felt like that lately. And what do? How do you bounce back up? Well, the good news is God's kind of like the weighted sand on the bottom of your bag if you consider these 4 keys that'll help you to bounce back. So here's key number 1. Remind yourself that God loves you and will bring something good out of every single situation that you face, whatever heartbreak, whatever dark valley you're going through. Romans 8:28, remember what it says, we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who are called according to his purpose. So that's key number 1, reminding yourself of that truth. Key number 2, remind yourself that you are not alone in this heartbreak, this disappointment, this sadness, this grief, whatever has happened. You're not alone. This is also a beautiful promise made to us in Psalm 23, a very famous psalm. But in Psalm 23, verse 4, it says, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. God will never leave you. Whew, that alone is enough to help you bounce back after being slammed to the ground. The third key to bouncing back, and this is something I've been really slow to learn, to be honest, but I'm trying to grasp this. Train yourself to stop being self-focused and to start being kingdom-focused. In other words, if I focus on those people have hurt me, I can't believe they did that. I can't believe this has happened to me. I'm wallowing in self-pity and disappointment. It's all about me. My personal happiness has been threatened. But if I pivot and make it not all about me, but about God's kingdom, about blessing others and pointing others toward Jesus and partnering with God to expand his kingdom, wow, then all of a sudden I start to feel purpose, fulfillment, and dare I say, even joy. My joy starts to return as I start being less self-focused. This reminds me of Colossians 3, starting in verse 1. Since then you have been raised with Christ. Set your hearts on things above. Set your heart, not on self, but on kingdom business. And then lastly, this is maybe a little bit humorous, but it's so true. Ask God, actually, if there's any dysfunctional, unhealthy, unhelpful pattern in your life that's going to keep you stuck in, stumbles and keep you experiencing the same challenges and keep you in a place of keeping on banging your head against the wall. And this is the humorous part. I love the Bible. It's so descriptive in places. Proverbs 26:11 puts it this way. As a dog returns to its vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. Let's not be like the dog returning to its vomit. Maybe there's a dysfunctional pattern that God might want to show you that you could stop so you don't keep on staying in perpetual heartbreak and misery. Just 4 keys to bouncing back.